Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of the Walking Dead Recap Show here on the Collider Network. We have got so much to talk about. We're so glad you could join us. If you want to join in on the conversation with us, please comment, tweet at us, hashtag Collider Walking Dead. We will take a look at it. We'll be answering some of your questions later on, some of your Twitter questions later on. But there is so much to talk about, so I just want to jump right in. Let's get everybody introduced and get everybody going with my fellow hosts. Hi, I'm John Rocha. Let's start to my left here. Quinn, tell everybody who you are.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Quinn Marie. Super stoked to talk about the episode. 90 minutes! Yeah!
And to my right here.
Hey everyone, it was only 90 minutes, but we got so much done. I thought it was a solid episode. Kaori Takee in the house.
Did you get turned?
And all the way on the right,
Get turned.
rocking the best stash in the business.
Oh, hey, yo. What's up, guys? Yeah, 90 minutes. In that 90 minutes, I don't know if you guys watched me while I was watching the show, but I also know how to learn how to use the bow staff.
Hey-o.
I do not watch you while I watch the show.
Yeah, well, you should.
That'd be a little weird.
Because I'm that
It's
good.
a little weird. Although, Josh, you do require a lot of attention.
Thanks, John.
In a good way. Like, you command a lot of attention in a good way. There's so much to talk about because we jumped into Morgan's backstory, which we have been wanting to see for, 2 seasons now? Or 3 seasons? Like, since he got the first appearance in season 1.
True.
And then now, like, the sporadic appearances, and now we finally got his full backstory, which was, for me, I loved it. It was such a blast. And, I was looking at the wrong camera, sorry, y'all. And I was enjoying the heck out of it. But I want to hear what everybody has to say. There's so much to talk about. There's so much symbolism. There's so much that went on with John Carroll Lynch, who played Eastman. All
Who looks
those
like
kinds
Paul
of things.
Heyman? Just saying.
Yeah, he looks like Paul Heyman. The Heyman hustle.
We were all totally quiet. And she's like, oh, wait, nobody knows who that is.
Paul Heyman.
So, Quinn, why don't we start with you? Tell me what you liked about the show. Or some of the things.
Some of the things I liked about the show, I agree with you. We did get Morgan's backstory, which was good because remember back 2 episodes when Alexandria was being attacked and he wasn't killing anybody and we were all super pissed and really annoyed with Morgan. Why he wouldn't kill anybody. We thought he was being a punk. So this made me feel a little bit more. I was like, come on, you're going to make Carol do everything. So I was feeling very irritated with Morgan, and now I feel like I was given some reason behind his choices, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah, that's a good thing to start at. Like, did you feel that what they fleshed out here was enough for you to like give him a little more leeway, a little more understanding for why he's behaving this way? Do you still feel angry at him, or do you now have like a better idea and then maybe forgive him for what he's doing?
I'm just not as irritated because a lot of times I'm irritated with him, and I'm not as irritated this time around because I feel like we understand Morgan a little bit more. We understand what he's gone through, so that was good to clear that up. But this episode was really tough. I just have to say it really quickly. I know we're going to talk about it. I'm really into the story, and I'm watching Morgan heal and get better. Yeah. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, are they gonna address Glenn? Are they gonna address Glenn?
Yeah.
Where's Glenn? What's happening with Glenn? So I had Glenn on the brain a lot.
Well, like any true good TV show, they kept you waiting for the next episode. So
Yeah.
I think, too...
You want to talk about some things you like, Josh?
No. I want to go off what Quinn said.
Yeah,
what
let's
Quinn
do
said.
that.
Go ahead.
I think that, yes, I'm a little less annoyed with Morgan because we got this origin story, which I love origin stories. Like Days of X-Men First Class is one of the, that kind of origin story kind of a thing. And it was really cool to see, what Morgan went through, almost like a White Fang. Like when he gets White Fang, and you got to train White Fang to from that evil wolf back to, and that's the Morgan situation. Thanks, man. But it's still just like, okay, I get it. Your inner peace, all human life is precious, yada, yada, yada. Still, got to kill some sons of bitches, right?
It's true.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I felt, that I completely understand why now he decided to choose this mantra and not kill anyone, Aikido and all that stuff. And he was influenced and he learned that that's where he finds his inner peace. I get all that. But if you need to protect people that are there to protect you, you might want to kill people.
Right.
So that's a little conflict. But now I can totally sympathize and understand why he couldn't kill and why he's struggling, because I think once he starts killing, he might just go crazy again.
Exactly.
Right. Well, and that was an interesting point when we were watching the show. Like every time he went crazy, things got real focused and everything else became blurry. Because that's how, I think that's what you see sometimes when you're really caught up in the throes of the crazy obsession or things that what they say the term is like everything went red. And that's what happens. You get so focused you can't see anything else around
that
you.
effect was very cool. By
That was cool.
I did like
that was a great effect. And I think you're right, Kaori. If he keeps going forward, if he starts to kill again, he might not be able to come back from the brink of where he was when then Eastman found him.
True.
Right?
Agreed.
Okay. So what else did you like about the show, Kaori?
I mean, I like the guy. How's it
Eastman?
called? Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul.
I like him.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we only got him for 90 minutes worth.
Right.
I think that he could have been a very valuable character. I know in my dreams and stuff. But I like how he came along with this idea that not to kill because it gives you peace and value to your life, and everything is precious. I liked his story with the goat. I liked how he built a home, and I liked how he passed it on.
Yeah.
Tabitha.
Good old Tabitha.
And I like how he passed it on to Morgan to carry that on. So I thought this was a really good supporting character for this episode. I really liked him. I really valued it.
You made something a really great point, Josh, because you said it almost felt like a 2-person off-Broadway play. It did.
Yeah,
Talk about that more?
It was like, it was so well written. It's so hard to make 90 minutes of television with 2 men in a cabin.
And
a
Interesting.
goat.
Yeah. And a goat.
Sorry, I forgot about Tabitha.
Yeah. Gotta have a
R.I.P.
comic
Tabitha. Spoiler alert.
It's a recap show.
I know.
They know what
Just throw it
Still
out.
R.I.P.
So, it does. Because it had like an indie film feel to it, you know?
Yeah.
And there was something just so brilliant about Eastman. And as soon as he opened his mouth when he was talking about interviewing people and his job, and he was this forensic and just the way he delivered his lines and the way he was a smartass, but you just totally bought whatever he said. I was so on board with that guy the minute he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
He was a vision of perfection as far as
good.
acting goes.
Super zen. All you
Yes.
Buddhists out there, that guy's an inspiration.
It was awesome. Just so cool.
Well, it's interesting because the book he gave him is called The Act of Peace. It's by
Art of Peace.
Art of Peace. I'm sorry, The Art of Peace. My writing.
Yeah.
It's
Those
by
C's and those R's.
Morihei Ueshiba, if I'm saying this right, and he is the founder of Aikido, and it's based on the compassion. It's based on the idea of compassion, wisdom, fearlessness, and love of nature. So his teachings aren't for the warrior; it's for the human race. And so this is what he was trying to teach him. And I mean, there's so much symbolism there because his name's Eastman. It's wisdom from Far East, that kind of thing. So it's all there, and he's trying to bring Morgan back from that brink of craziness that he was at, where he was killing, like he killed the father and the son, which of course comes back to haunt
that
him
was
later.
brutal. That was
great.
perfect at showing just how far off the deep end Morgan had gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Who caught that?
Quinn.
Yeah.
Over
That's
here.
right.
It was
Good
like,
job.
is
I
that the
did
guy
not.
he strangled? I'm like,
Yeah,
how
the
do you
son.
tell? What are you, fashion conscious?
Yep.
You knew
Right.
his shirt?
You
It was
knew.
really good.
I knew it.
Crushed
It's
it.
The Walking Dead, dude. They're gonna do
Yeah.
something awesome like that.
Yeah. And the show's interesting because once again you got father and son dying, mother and daughter dying. Like everybody lost a family, right?
Yes.
From the beginning to the end of this episode, it was all about the loss of families
Well,
too.
I mean, that's the thing with The Walking Dead. Everybody is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broken. Coming together looking for love.
Yeah.
True.
What were you saying, Joe?
I loved the continuation of who Eastman was, his story, and the telling of that guy Creighton Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Creighton Naughton Wilton. Creighton Dallas Wilton.
Something
was
like
his
that,
name?
Yeah.
I loved that darkness, that whole thing. You're like, when is he going to come back and finish his story? Because you knew that the episode was going to get to that point of like, well, what happened with Creighton Dallas? And I said something stupid when we were watching. I was like, what if he's Creighton Dallas?
We're like, whoa,
I'm an
easy.
idiot.
That was the moment
He's
when I was
Josh.
looking at you.
That's what
With
everybody was looking
skeptical eyes. Yes.
Well, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about? Well, what do you think about the name of the episode? Here's Not Here. Like, what do you think the symbolism of that title is?
Well, I think it basically means because Morgan is physically there, but his mind is mentally not
Nice.
in place,
Yeah.
is basically what they're trying to get around. So
Okay.
it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
and also the physical location.
Yeah.
He here for him is also not here
Mm-hmm.
because, like you said, his mind's not there. His mind is back where it was, which is what Eastman was telling him about opening the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Like his mind keeps going back to that same place every time he opens the door again, and so he's afraid to open it.
I need an Eastman in my life.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little Eastman in their life. Yes.
Yeah.
all I
Eastman
gotta
for
say.
president. I love that guy, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I ordered that book off Amazon while we were watching.
Get out of
Did you
here.
I'm
really?
gonna read it. Yeah, because I'm gonna read
Is
it.
there a
Yeah.
spin-off book called The Art of Pizza? Because I would buy that book.
There it
That's
is.
the
Little
one.
Caesars
The
might
comedy
have it.
signs
You guys are
of Josh
welcome.
McCoog. I did some research while we were watching. The goat symbolizes fertility, vitality, and ceaseless energy, and it was this
And-
kind of thing.
I believe Greek salads.
Yes,
as
and
well.
Greek salads.
Yeah,
Oh,
goat
is this
cheese.
all night? Is this what's gonna?
That's the last one. I promise. That's it. I'm done.
I think that the goat also kind of like symbolized. I mean, it was this precious little thing that they had to take care of, and it was kind of helpless. It was kind of loud, which that was irritating. Yeah, it was like take that thing. That's why the walkers are coming. Take that thing and put it in the house. But I don't know. I think that was kind of like another thing that kind of brought Morgan back was saving the goat. It was like, okay, he sees this like defenseless little animal and he helps it. So I liked the Tabitha story. I was sad to see her go.
Yeah, and in the Bible, Tabitha is the name of the first woman that's raised from the dead by St. Peter. And in a way, that's symbolism too for Morgan because he's being raised from the dead.
If you guys didn't get the memo, John Rocha went to college.
We're going deep with this one.
No, this is good. No,
I think one of the best things about breaking down these shows is the symbolism, because I think these writers are so smart, and there's a reason we keep coming back, even if we may not catch it when we're watching it. It's because we do this show that I do this stuff when we're watching, because it's like there's so much going on for these writers, and they're really trying to even subconsciously drop these things into your mind.
True.
And because this episode, like we already said, it was a 2-person off-Broadway play.
Yes.
What do playwrights always do? Symbolism.
Yeah.
Because the play has to have a deeper meaning, and this episode had to have a deeper meaning, because they wouldn't have done 90 minutes of Morgan if we're not going to see Morgan become a super important part of the show.
I think 90 minutes was quite important for this show to have this reveal. And I've also noticed that goat tends to be a trope for protecting an animal. They usually pick a goat for that reason. I'm curious.
And not a sheep. That's interesting. A goat, but not a sheep.
Yeah.
I guess because the sheep symbolizes following as opposed to a goat, which would be more of its singular thing.
I just have noticed that we're always trying to protect or find our goat, or when we're playing a game.
Greatest of all
something.
time.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah. So is there anything you guys didn't like about the show? And I know you, Kaori, had a lot to say about Morgan, was still yelling at Morgan through the episode at certain moments.
Corey is,
she's coming around to work. She's not the biggest Morgan fan, but she's like
Morgan is like a boyfriend she hates.
Right.
Like they're together, they spend all their time together, they love each other, but she hates him.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there anything, like, you want to start? Is there anything you didn't like about the episode?
I mean, I guess it wasn't necessary for this 90-minute, but I did wish that we would get to know whether Glenn really did survive or not. And maybe we'll talk about this later in our predictions. But
I don't like episodes.
Are we going into old news? Like, are we going into old minutes? This is a student council meeting, like new
Who's bringing up old business?
Who's old business, new business?
What did you have anything you didn't like about the episode, Josh?
Sometimes I'm not a fan of these palate cleansing type of episodes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
You like the origin episodes, but not necessarily the palate cleansing.
Yeah,
episodes.
because the first 3 episodes of the season were just action movies. They were incredible.
True. Yeah.
And this movie definitely was not, or this episode definitely was not. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just I'm like you. I'm just sitting there. I'm waiting. I'm like, what? Because the internet broke my spine this week with Glenn's not dead. He's not dead. Look, there's a picture of him on set with everybody.
I think he's not dead.
So, okay, and
the panel is divided on whether Glenn is dead or not.
100% dead.
I'm internally divided. My heart wants Glenn to be alive, but logically, it's like, I don't know. See, I get stressed. I'm stressed about it right now. I don't know. And I'm sorry, I just have to add this in one more time. I don't like episodes without Rick. It makes me feel uneasy. I was uneasy the whole time.
What's going on?
I need to know where he's at.
I think Rick causes a lot of anxiety. That being said, I do love when Rick's in an episode. It makes it so much better. But he does cause a lot of stress. Anything he says, you think that he can break at any moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you end the last episode with tons of walkers walking up to the RV that doesn't work. He's about to lose it. And then 90 minutes and
we don't
address it at all. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, and we'll address Quinn's issue with patriarchal figures in the next segment, I think. We'll talk about it.
Just saying.
Was there anything you wanted to finish, Josh?
No, I 90 minutes was great. It's awesome that we're seeing all this, but there's just something about an episode that we're not on the main storyline. But
is it too calming for you?
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit. Knowing full 90 minutes that it's just going to be two
Zen
buddies.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, what about when it came back?
Like the mayhem
to the wolves? Well,
that was interesting.
People had thought that he had killed that guy,
and
he was still alive. And the guy said, well, this is my code of ethics. This is my credo, right? I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your children. I'm going to kill everybody here.
And I will never brush my teeth.
Right. Yeah. I will never brush my upper teeth at all. So that was bringing back to the main storyline. Because, I mean, we started at now. Yeah. And then we went to then and then back to now. Right. So did that affect for you to come back to that storyline?
I think the nice part about that is that he's talking to that wolf, and that wolf is, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. And Morgan, I think, wants to, be able to help him, and he's getting there. But some people like Creighton Dallas Wilton are beyond repair.
Exactly.
Sure.
They're evil, and this guy is evil, and that's what he's thinking. Yep. I think the reason that they showed us this origin story and the making of Morgan is that Morgan is going to White Fang Rick.
Yeah.
And he's going to train Rick to be able to be
you think?
the compassionate
I like
leader.
That's going to be
Hey.
his job.
I like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Correct.
He's going to be Rick's backbone.
Eastman.
His
Pay it
Eastman.
forward.
Wow.
Yes.
Rick would be crazy if he became that.
Yeah.
I can see him floating.
How many more changes? I don't know if I can take another change to Rick.
I almost think
I'm happy where he's
I think
at now.
Rick's too far gone. He already did the farmer thing.
Yeah, you already did the Zen farmer thing,
and
right?
it didn't
And
work
that
out for him.
no.
And I think that
It's
was
not in his
also
nature.
it was also another thing where it's like the wolf being like, I'm going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize. That's how I have to do it. He did say I have to do it, which also
Yeah.
leads me again to believe like, who's making you do this? Who is behind the wolves? But anyway.
Yeah, is there anything you didn't like in the episode, Quinn? We got from Josh and Kaori. So
Well,
okay,
no Rick, no Glenn.
Oh, so that's what you didn't like.
I
Okay.
need because you go into this 90-minute episode with all these expectations.
Right.
We leave it with so many open-ended questions. The internet blew up, and then you go to this 90-minute episode thinking something is going to be answered,
Right.
and the Morgan thing was answered, which is cool. That's awesome. I know that now, but I need I was like, really, no Rick, no Glenn, really?
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. Like I trust you guys, but yeah.
Right.
But anyway, no. Back to the wolf thing. Like
Yep.
when he's like, I have to kill you guys or whatever. It just goes to show this isn't the same situation. He can't take that code of ethics with these people.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, it's inevitable. So
you think Morgan's going to kill the wolf there? That wolf
I mean,
guy?
it's not.
He's going to leave him there to starve for 47 days.
I don't-
Maybe he should do that.
I don't think he's going to do that either because that's what Eastman realized was pointless, even making
True.
that guy starve.
yeah.
I don't think Morgan is going to kill this wolf, but he might have to break this bond to save someone that he really cares about.
Well, just like he thought about not locking the gate.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he locked it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like this isn't the same.
Right.
He has to lock
So you
the
can
gate.
see that he kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, and that was my thing that jumped out at me with that ending part of the episode. Like he locked the gate.
Mm-hmm.
He is breaking from Eastman. He is not going to do 100% because it's easy to have that philosophy when you're by yourself
Yep. In
the
on a
woods.
house in the woods
Yeah.
with a goat tied up, trying to
Exactly.
make cheese.
Yeah.
But when you're out in the real world amongst real people, and especially when you have people who want to come and attack you
Mm-hmm.
and kill you and are like with machetes and whatever
Yeah.
they have in their hands, it's not as easy to sit in the middle of the town square
Right.
and do the Zen thing because
Exactly, dude.
you got to survive.
Right.
Which reminds me, by the way, I really also want to add this to my positive. Something that I really appreciated about the episode as well was that Eastman was telling him he suggests that he doesn't stay in this cottage and stay
go
in
out.
there
Yeah.
Needs people,
and to go
yeah.
out because people are important. That's what makes them worth living.
Right.
But also, people are what make people scary.
Yeah. Well, and here's something else for you to think about.
Go,
Did this
John.
really happen?
What can really happen?
Did
No,
this
did
entire
this-
is this all in Glenn's mind? I mean, in Morgan's mind.
Was
it Glenn?
Wouldn't it be crazy if it was Glenn? He said, "Oh, I fell asleep."
Is this all in Morgan's mind because there's no witnesses to this? It's just Morgan and this guy. And at the beginning, Morgan
So he
kills
created
those two
Here's Not
people.
Here?
I'm just saying there's a possibility here because he's lost in his mania. He killed those two people at the beginning.
Kind of like that
Because,
thought.
and then at the end, he saves those two people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering if he's like,
I think it happened.
okay. It just occurred to me, like,
Yeah,
wouldn't that
I
be
mean-
something?
Yeah.
Because there's no witnesses
I mean,
to it.
like
That's true.
like a total dream sequence.
Yes.
But, like, what about-
Also because of the whole thing of like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
that
effects.
kind of
But
stuff.
what about Eastman's death? Like his death scene, not his
Oh,
death
yeah.
scene, but him getting bitten by the walker.
There was some anger in the room at that.
Yeah, like-
what did you think about that?
It sucked.
Since you
It
brought
sucked.
it up.
Yeah, it made me. I was like, God damn it, Morgan, again.
Yeah, it
That's
sucked.
that's the first thing I said.
as soon as the episode started, and we kind of predicted that Eastman was going to be there to
Yeah.
train him, turn him into the Donatello, whatever. We knew that Eastman was going to die a horrible
Yeah,
death.
die a bunch.
Right? He was going to die. We didn't know how it was going to happen.
Right.
But it's very fitting that he was eaten by a walker because
And a walker that Morgan didn't kill.
didn't kill.
Right.
Mm-hmm. As
the
he's
whole
trying to
thing.
save
I'm sorry,
Morgan.
a walker Morgan created.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
You know, the agent of his demise. So I thought it was fitting how he died. It's still, we all just were like, come on.
Yeah,
Morgan, damn it, Morgan.
Damn.
Do it
Yeah.
again? Ugh. But yeah.
Morgan is an interesting character because he seems like a thankless part at times,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah, he does.
he serves his purpose in the Rick storyline,
Mm-hmm.
but now he's come into our storyline of watching the show.
True.
But it seems like it's such a thankless role that he keeps playing because he gets saddled with this stuff. Like, he is essentially Atlas in this like show because he's always carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders all the time. And I just wonder what the end game is, because I still believe he's going to die.
I feel like he's for someone that is living with the Zen thing. He is a complete stress ball.
Yeah,
like, you can see the anxiety in him with everything. Anytime he's in the screen, you can tell that something's going on in his
He's
mind.
very fragile. You feel like he's gonna break it.
He's gonna explode.
Something's gonna.
He's got that cadence to his voice and the anxiety lip quiver.
Right.
Yeah.
Lip quiver.
with everything. Yeah.
Break my hands.
The other thing that was interesting with Eastman was that he didn't come to this realization until after he killed this guy.
Right.
So it's like, yes, that's great. You had the realization overall. However, you didn't have it before you killed this guy, so you didn't kill this guy. You still sat and watched this guy for 47 days.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
That was a dark
vengeance.
twist. I was like,
Right?
damn.
And I don't think he got to train Morgan fully at the end either.
Right.
Because he wasn't able. So it's just interesting to see how that played
Morgan
out.
self-trained.
You're right.
It was like a combo of Karate Kid and Andy Griffith's show. And just like their whole moment.
The training moment with the sticks by the river. Yeah. All we needed was them on pylons doing the crane kick.
True.
We were there.
That's a good point.
But at the end, you saw him, do like the full whip.
Yeah.
We all
Right.
were like, "Woo, all
Like,
right."
somebody's been training.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I'm getting
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah,
I don't
love
want,
it.
And I don't want to be an asshole, but there's one more symbolism thing.
Go
ahead.
do it.
He's
We love
wearing
it.
John Carroll Lynch is wearing a terrapin's shirt when he's training him, which is a turtle, which is a hard shell to cover the soft interior. So he's trying to teach him something because he knows how vulnerable Morgan is inside
Well
mentally.
done.
Check
So
out
all
this
these
guy,
things. It's
everybody.
just all these things
Check
that
it
are
out.
there, which are great.
Is that Billy Shakespeare?
Willie Shakespeare, man. Anyway, all right. So, is there anything else you guys want to bring up or talk about?
Was that Rick's voice at the end yelling?
Open the gates?
I feel like that. It sound. Maybe I just really wanted it to sound
No.
like Rick.
I don't think it was his voice, but
that's-
who knows?
Because last we left him was in the RV.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Rick. I think it's Daryl.
Oh, Daryl.
Because Daryl's on the motorcycle.
Oh,
True.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
that's
she's
right.
born, and Rick's not showing up, and they're like, "You got to get back to the gate. It's about to go down."
Right.
True.
I think it's Daryl.
Okay, so
All right.
one last question, then we're going to jump into the Twitter questions.
Let's
What
try
do you guys want to see happen in the next episode? Like, what do you want?
Should we
Glenn
talk about
survived.
Glenn? I mean, that's where this is going to go, right?
Right,
We all want to talk
eventually.
about
Let's talk
Glenn.
about that.
All
Yeah.
roads
Let's-
lead to Glenn.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah?
Him, Daryl, and Rick, those three, if any of those three die, it's going to be very
That's how I feel.
crazy.
That's the Holy Trinity right
yes,
there.
those
You
three
guys-
right there.
Why are you removing Carol?
Okay.
Does Carol not count?
It's always been Glenn,
I know
Daryl,
she
Rick
counts,
for me.
but those
Yeah.
three are just the ones that have always constantly been.
Yes, dude.
I've
the
never looked
ones.
at it as 3. I've always looked at it as 5.
Who are
Yeah.
the other two then?
Carol and
Michonne.
Maggie.
And Michonne, too.
Oh,
Well, but Maggie wasn't there since.
Oh, right.
Maggie
Yeah.
was before
Okay.
Michonne.
That's fair.
That's true.
But if you're looking at then the 6 are Michonne, and then curls around.
I mean,
No.
yeah, all those guys are
We're
important.
not-
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the
the
same way
Collider
though. The
recap-
three have always been like,
Walking
Yeah.
Dead recap does not include Carl in that.
No,
terms,
no.
Officially.
Here's the thing.
I'm not mad at Carl.
We talked about it before.
Carl.
We talked about it with multiple friends.
Just annoys me.
The Glenn death. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
two aspects of it. If he is
let's
dead,
hash this out real quick.
Yes. If he is dead, and everybody on all I got so many tweets and people are like, here's a picture of him on set. I'm
Yep.
like, he could be a consulting. He could be a flashback.
Could be a flashback.
like, Rick sees Glenn.
be a flashback,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Rick
Yeah.
sees Glenn when he's doing things, and Glenn's like, gotta do this, gotta do that.
Right.
So Glenn's a ghost, right? You can do that in TV.
Look, I just came up just right now. The reason why I think Glenn could be living.
Hold on.
All right.
Great. I'm excited.
Kaori.
It's because of our Asian bond. No. No. It is because, he's
Damn.
getting blood spewed all over him.
Yeah.
And I remember that if you have blood on you and you're very kind of quiet and you pretend to be an undead.
talked about
No,
this
but
last
that's
week.
zombie blood, not human blood.
But
Yeah.
he can easily get zombie
Okay, here's
blood.
the
I
thing.
guess.
Look,
Okay.
I'm looking for ways.
I
obvious.
Glenn
appreciate
is
that.
dead.
I
Glenn is
appreciate-
dead.
Josh and I are
not
very
dead.
firm that Glenn
Now,
is dead.
here's the only problem I have with this, and it's two-sided. If he is dead, which he is, okay, I'm just saying.
Awesome.
Okay,
Stop using if.
he's dead. That he went out in such a bad way. It was a crappy death. I didn't like how they did it. He went out with numbnuts Nicholas.
Yeah.
And, he gets crushed by zombies. There's no pomp and circumstance. There's nobody like way to say goodbye or whatever. He doesn't even have his RIP farewell on that show that we don't talk about.
Right.
Okay.
The show that shall not be named.
Yeah, the show that shall not be named by Expensive Jeans McGee. Okay.
Don't get us in trouble.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Then I hate how they did it.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed about that.
Okay.
If he is alive, it goes against everything the show's about.
Yeah.
It's not
Why?
Game of Thrones. It's not these things where like, oh my God, he survived. How did he survive? It's like, well, I did this and I did.
Yeah.
There's a billion walkers around. You can't get away from them. They
Yes,
are going to kill you.
Can, if you're Glenn.
Quinn?
Oh God, I don't know. I want him to be alive so bad. I don't want him to die. Like
No, me
I don't
neither.
want him to die.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that makes me like a bad fan. I know that that would make
Nobody
the story.
wants him to die.
Yeah,
Well,
nobody
I mean,
wants him
I
to
know
die.
that would be really like that wouldn't be good for the story. It wouldn't be good for the show. It would be. It wouldn't respect the show and the show's writing.
All right.
But
Well,
God, I want him to be alive. Sorry.
here's what I say.
I'm on your team.
I think
Thank
he's
you.
dead. And because of what the show has shown us in the past.
Correct.
If you make loud noises, you attract walkers. He is screaming his bloody head off in that moment, so the walkers
he
are going to...
screaming?
He was.
Oh,
You saw him. I was like,
screaming.
I said the same thing. I was like, was he though?
He's screaming. You can see his mouth wide open screaming, it seems like. And so why would that not attract the other walkers that are not eating Nicholas to start eating Glenn? And
Nicholas
that's-
isn't much bigger than Glenn. He can't just like hide under him. It's not an offensive
Yeah.
lineman that's on top of Glenn.
And he's in an enclosed space.
Correct.
So with 40 walkers around, I just don't think it's possible.
No way.
What about Enid?
You know,
I mean, there
Enid's
might
with the wolves.
be
Let's just be
something
clear.
miraculously magical that happens that makes Glenn survive. And until I see that moment where
True.
he's dead
Yeah.
or looks like an undead, I think he's alive.
Keeping hope alive. I like
Hope.
that.
All right.
Hope.
Congratulations.
and to your point, Josh, I think the death works because in real life we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
We
We don't
don't
get it.
know how people
Yeah,
are
I
going to
know.
die, and it
Yeah,
isn't
I
always
know.
poetic.
It's the
and it isn't
realist,
great.
yeah, it's-
and that's what I
it's a
love
real
about the
show.
show is the realism of the show. Like
Yep.
people die, like Tyrese, he died in a way that he should not have died.
Totally.
Right, and people have complaints about deaths. Well, that's real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, people die early. People
True.
die.
Or
couple
even
people die in
Sophia,
couple.
like they searched for her forever, and
Right.
you were
Right.
so hopeful
Which
that
was
she was
terrible.
Yeah,
Right,
that she
and
was
when
going to
she
be
comes
alive,
out
and then
of the-
she's
yeah,
she's
she's
a
a
walker,
zombie,
and
she's
you're
a
like,
walker.
dang.
And, as Corey
That's harsh.
so eloquently said during the episode, he's just living until he isn't living anymore.
It made perfect sense.
That's the realest thing that's ever been said.
All right, can we? Let's jump to the Twitter questions. Let's take a look and see where those are at. Do we have any? Okay,
There we
good.
go.
I can read them now with my new glasses.
Oh,
Really
I-
good.
Mario Huang.
Okay.
Yes, with double G's. Do you think the zombies would ever evolve? Like this season, there are, quote, ninja walkers always appearing out of nowhere. Macuga, take this one.
Right.
So wait, have we seen a ninja walker?
I know.
Well,
what
they're
he's,
was-
saying
he's
they
inferring
seem
that
to
they
appear.
come out of nowhere.
Oh,
Right.
right. Well, they always seem to come out of
That
nowhere.
usually you can hear them coming with,
I was on the same curiosity as
yeah.
Josh. I'm like,
No,
what?
I don't know.
You don't think it'll evolve?
No, I don't. There's a romantic thought there that they could evolve.
Oh,
Do you know
okay.
what I mean? That like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this zombie is like a super zombie. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Would it be cool if it did? And there's a new pack of zombies, a new breed. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I was gonna be like,
but
probably
I
not.
think,
But,
yeah,
maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna evolve. I think the people that are gonna evolve are the people that are alive, like Rick or Carol or Daryl. These are the people that we're focused on watching change their mindset. I don't think the zombies are the ones that we're going to.
I read an interesting theory online saying that the reason that they can't hear the walkers, how they seem to appear out of nowhere, is because all of these people are shooting guns very close to their ears and indoors, and they're all probably pretty much deaf.
Oh.
Read it online. It's a theory.
Well,
Just saying.
I think it would change the show completely to say they could evolve because then it becomes fantastical, and the
Yes.
show's never been
Yeah.
fantastical. And
Yeah.
you might have scientists like the governor was trying to like figure out how to cure his daughter. You might have scientists that were trying to figure out how to make these zombies come back, or walkers rather come back to regular, or maybe even evolve into killing machines. But I think that would really kill what the show is about, which is the real experience of this.
It would just become Resident Evil or something.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
not what the show is.
or I Am Legend. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to the next Twitter question. What do we got? This is from Adam MC Games. Do you think the whole show has just been Rick's dream while he's been in the coma?
coma.
That is an awesome question.
I think
Kaori?
that's always a big question that a lot of people have wondered.
really?
A lot of
Okay.
fans have wondered. I think it's very possible. It would be a trip. but I'm gonna say no.
No, I'd say that's a cop out.
Yeah.
No way. No.
Yeah.
You think it would kill the season? You think it was a cop out for the series?
Rick's been in a coma this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is this, Gilligan's Island?
Exactly. I'll feel so
we-
betrayed.
The entire world will walk to AMC headquarters with pitchforks and torches.
Yes, I will be in
if
that
it was
crowd.
a dream, it
Yeah.
like cuts and it's like, doodle-doodle-doo, Rick's still in the coma. You're like, no, what? God. I would punch
Lori's
a puppy.
there.
Yes, Lori's like,
And-
oh,
Oh God. Yeah, that made it worse.
Yeah,
You're
right.
Carl turns out to be Ed Helms. You're like, he's like older now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you would really lose the fan base if you made it part of his coma dream, because that happened with Saint Elsewhere, which it was all in a snowball from some autistic kid, and that happened in Lost. Right? People lost their minds.
Yeah.
Not to use a pun.
Thanks. I'm
about-
never gonna watch Saint Elsewhere.
yeah, right. The reference for you kids out there. Yeah. So yeah,
And I was gonna binge watch St. Elsewhere tonight, starting tonight.
And they also did it on Dallas for that one season
Yes.
where Bobby Ewing, because it
Shot.
was all a dream, when
Yeah,
they tried to
at
mess
the
around with
shower.
storylines in the
Yeah,
shower.
way
Yeah.
to go.
Anyway, all right. So let's jump to the next
So
question.
that's a hard no from all
That's
of
a
us,
hard
right?
no from all of
Okay.
us. All right. This is from Lemon Grab Ren. Hey, this guy follows me. Follows me. I love this guy. Which dead character from the
Congratulations,
series?
John.
All
Good
right.
for you.
I see Macuga's the only one that's allowed to mention his Twitter followers. Stop it, you. Which dead character from the series would you bring back right now, and why?
Shane.
Oh, girl.
Really?
I just think that in an alternate universe, things would have been so different for Rick.
Oh, I hated Shane.
I hated
I
him too, but he added so much dimension and he made sense, even though he was a dick.
Oh, I did not.
Shane.
You got to explain how. Okay.
I think I like Shane the actor. I wouldn't bring him back.
You mean John
I'd
Bernthal?
bring-
John
Yeah,
Bernthal?
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's Punisher, amazing. I think Rick is turning into Shane, has like trended towards
Not
angry.
until he sleeps with his best friend's wife
True,
does he turn
true.
into Shane.
And Judith might be Shane's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Judith,
All right.
yeah.
That's true. Go ahead.
If I could bring back any dead character, without a doubt, Herschel. Loved Herschel. Herschel's the best.
Yeah.
The best. He was the voice of reason. He was the sagacious, wise one.
Yeah.
And I loved every time he was in a storyline. You know, he gets was his leg or his arm cut off? His leg. Right? He got his leg cut off.
leg.
And he still just was kicking it with that crutch. Herschel was more badass with one leg than half the a-holes that they killed in Woodbury with two.
Right.
I agree.
Quinn?
I was going to say Herschel too.
Okay. Yeah.
I liked the dynamic between Rick and Herschel a lot. He's the only one who like kept Rick in sane mode, I guess. And I just liked, I liked his character like within the group. You know,
Yeah.
kind of he was wise. He was a wise old man.
I mean, just going back to Shane, don't you guys think
Quit selling us on Shane!
You're not going to bring back Shane.
if Rick's wife wasn't alive and she died giving birth and Shane was still alive, Rick and Shane would have been co-leaders to build a... I
No.
just feel like it would
He would never have trusted Shane after what
No.
he did. He would never have
think
trusted Shane.
Rick
Shane was
Good
crazy. Shady.
Men will never trust another man who slept with their wife. Let me just tell you that, whether he was in a coma or not. Let me just tell you right now, it would never have happened. I would love them to bring back Tyrese. I really liked
Really?
the
Tyrese.
progression of
Alright.
Tyrese as a
Okay.
character. I liked that he was, in essence, the emotional muscle of the team. Like, he could destroy 30 walkers at once if he wanted to, but he didn't use it all the time because he wanted to be judicious, and he had his own stuff that he was dealing with. I hated his death. I loved him on the show, maybe because I kind of feel more of a kinship with a character like that in myself physically. I feel like, oh, that's a guy I can relate to. And so it's like, okay. But then to have him be killed that way, it was like, come on, he wouldn't have heard that zombie in the damn room.
Yeah.
True.
For a second, I thought you were saying you look like Tyrese.
No, that
I'm
guy's
kind of
big.
the Tyrese of the group.
No,
so.
I don't mean that. I just mean
I'll
that,
tell you
like,
the one thing that
muscle dudes, I like those. I just gravitate.
The gentle
to those.
giant?
Yeah, the gentle
frustrated-
giants. Yeah.
That always frustrated me about Tyrese was it's
Yeah.
so hot. They're always sweating, and he
He's
had
wearing
that
the
snow
snowball.
hat on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole time.
Cap.
You have a beanie?
Yeah.
Beanie
Some
all
people have
day.
hairline
Hat.
issues. There's nothing wrong
Aren't
with
they
it.
called snow hats?
I guess that's where you're from.
Do we have another Twitter question, or is that the only one we have?
That's
All right,
the
that's it.
one.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for sending in those Twitter questions. We love talking about them.
We
We love
do.
getting them. They certainly, as you saw, spark a lot of conversation between the four of us.
True.
So we love hearing. We love getting.
Shane.
Oh no, Rick, we're gonna have to. I don't know, Rick. So but like, we love to get those questions. We love talking to you all. We love reading your comments on YouTube. So keep commenting, keep listening, keep watching, and definitely tell people about the show. We had like over 40,000 views last week, which was great.
Yes,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching, because we just started this thing, seeing what would happen, and so we're incredibly happy that you're watching and everything like that. So
Totally.
All right. Well, that's. I think. Does anyone have any parting thoughts before
Glenn's
we
dead.
go? Glenn's
Where's
dead.
Glenn?
Shane.
Where's Glenn?
Okay, all right.
Shane.
All right, let's go around the room. Quinn, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Marie _ all day, all night. If anybody ever wants to talk Walking Dead, I'm super down.
All day, all night. Watch out now.
Walking Dead.
She's getting turned.
Talking
Walking Dead,
Y'all
baby.
getting turned or nah?
All right, guys, you can follow me right down there, KAORIOUS. That's me everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, if I can say that word. But yes, find me.
Wild man.
I am Josh Macuga. I'm growing this mustache out for the entire month of Movember.
It's
you guys can. Yeah, she thought it was fake today. For real. Unbelievable. Yeah, you can go to my page Between the Stashes at Movember.com and donate to the cause. It's just going to get bigger and crazier. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Josh Macuga and Instagram and my YouTube channel Between the Sheets TV.
Wow. All right, and I'm John Rocha. You can follow me at The Rocha Says. My number of shows that I'm hosting or the podcasts that I'm on, you can follow me there. So thanks everybody for listening or for watching this week. We look forward to talking to you all next week, and we look forward to seeing what happened with Glenn. But for now, this was a pretty awesome episode. So we'll see where we go from here. We've got a little more perspective on Morgan, and we'll see if that plays itself out later on in the season, which we assume it will. All right, we'll see you all next week. Collider, the Walking Dead recap show, signing off.